Travel Explore, click live. And today we have Bob from Cakeology. He's going to be on the show in momentarily. I just want to make sure everything is working properly, and then we're going to go ahead and bring him on in here. So just let me know, guys, if everything is sounding okay. If there are any issues or anything like that, just let me know, and we will do our best to fix this. Now, I am using I'm using the same software, but I'm using a different little setup here, so we might have a few little issues. So if we do, oh, no, you don't want to hear that. Okay, so if we do have any issues, just let me know. As far as audio might be a problem. That's the only thing that I'm thinking about here. But I'm excited because I finally got this thing to work the way that I want it. So we should be good. I'm just going to pull up a screen real quick, and then we're going to pull up Bob here so he can be on the show right. Let's see. Okay, we got that. Okay. Warning check, good. All right, everything looks good. All right, so here's Bob from Cakeology. He's got a YouTube channel, Cakeology. So let's switch to Bob. Here he is. What's going on, Bob? How you
What's
doing, man?
going on, everybody? What's happening? It's a beautiful day. I appreciate everybody coming out to the live stream. So happy to be here. We got so much to talk about, so much to discuss today. It's going to be a live one because when I get on, it's hype, baby. So be
It's
prepared.
hype.
Okay, I might roast you. I might do whatever. So be prepared.
Be prepared. Damn, you're gonna be my hype man. You're gonna be my hype man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right, let me get this down. All right, guys. So the one thing I want to know though is audio. How does the audio sound? Does it sound okay? Um, and I'm gonna do two little tests here. I just want to make sure you guys can hear everything. So go ahead, Bob. Go ahead and talk a little bit so we can make sure everybody can hear.
Yes, everybody. I hope you can hear me right. I'm so glad everybody's here. Everybody, I feel so good. I feel so blessed. It's such a beautiful day, beautiful evening tonight.
Okay.
Can everybody hear me properly? Everybody.
Yeah, sounds good. They're saying it sounds good. So they're saying it's loud. Well, loud is
Good.
not
I'm
bad, but if
I'm
it's too
loud. I'm the
loud.
loudest one in the room normally, so it's good.
All right, so we'll keep it like this. It looks like it's good. Actually, I'm gonna try one other thing. So I'm just gonna do a test real quick. Okay, so go ahead, Bob. Talk a little bit.
Yes, yes. How's that? How was that?
All right, so does that sound any different, or does it sound the same? I just want to make sure this is the desktop coming out now. So if it sounds a little different, let me know. If it sounds the same, then let me know that as well, and we can go from there. All right. And not too loud, laugh out loud. Okay. That was the other one. Audio is good. Okay. So we're going to keep the audio the way it was before, and we'll just go with that. So let me hear. Okay, so we'll go with that audio. All right, guys, thank you guys all for stopping by. We have Bob here. He's going to give us all this information about business credit and credit cards in general because he has a lot of them. And I just found that out. It's funny, I hadn't talked to him about credit cards because I was so interested in the whole business credit and all that. But yeah, he has some credit cards, that's for sure. He probably has more credit cards than most of us in the room. Probably all of us in the room. And so, all right, let's.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of credit cards. That's for sure.
Cool. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about, actually, Cakeology. Where did you get the name? How did you come up with the name Cakeology?
Well, cake, to me is all. Well, first of all, I love cake. At the birthday party, I'm the first one at the cake. You might not get a chance to cut the cake. I've already tasted it. Number one. Okay. All right.
Cool.
No, yeah. Number two, obviously, cake means success, money.
Uh-huh.
So the science of success, the science of how to be successful, how to be financially successful, and how to get to the bag. That's what
Hmm.
cakeology is really about. And
Okay.
doing it all legit, doing it all legal, doing it in a way that we can, like we can give it down to our future generations. That's what I'm about.
Okay. All right. Cool. And so, when it came to like, I know you talk a lot about business credit. So how did you get into business credit? Like, where did that evolve from? Did you start a business and then you started getting into credit, or like how did that all evolve?
I've been in business. I opened my first business when I was 16 years old, and
Okay.
that was selling those blow pops to all
Uh
my schoolmates. You know what I mean?
huh. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. So my first business was selling those ring candies and those blow pops
Uh huh.
to everybody else in school. So we did. I couldn't afford the Jordans. I mean, $50 for Jordans back in the day. I don't know if you remember or not,
Yeah, I
but that was a
remember.
lot of money. You know,
Hmm.
so uh, my mom was not trying to buy me any Jordans. She was like, "Well, I got these brand new tracks for you. They're
Hmm.
white. You're gonna have to wear these."
Yeah.
So I said, "No, there's got to be a better way," and I started my own business at the age of 16 and kept it going. So just to let everybody know, I don't do anything else. All I do is what you see me do or what you're beginning to see me do on YouTube, which is coach and guide businesses, guide entrepreneurs, guide individuals that are looking to build business credit and to get the funding that they need to help their business succeed. So that is all I do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay. Okay. And
Yes.
so, as far as the channel, how did you come up with the channel? Why did you decide to start a YouTube channel? What happened there?
I mean, that's a great question, Tech, because I've always been in the backstage position. I
Hmm.
was I mean, I've done everything from promote concerts to artists in the city to everything else, charity events, everything. And I've always been the one that's been the coordinator because I never really felt comfortable in front of the camera. So after a lot of consideration, after a lot of having other people try to represent the brand, I just had to take that leap of faith, and I just had to take the chance of putting my face in front of the camera and taking on all my insecurities and my vulnerabilities and just sharing those with everybody. So
Hmm.
it took a little bit, Tech, but I had to make that leap of faith, man.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean because I was the same way. Like just getting out in front of people is, I mean, even though you're online, it's still, it's pretty intimidating, especially if you're
Absolutely.
doing a live stream because I mean, you can't hide your mistakes. If I make a mistake
No.
live, I make a mistake. There's no editing it out. I mean, I guess I could edit it out after the video is played, but you can't edit on the spot. So you do have to kind of
Right.
get out there. People will ask you questions. You have to know how to respond. You might not have the answer, all that good stuff. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. It's a big step to get into this. But I'm always interested when people have businesses or people have they have the travel credit cards and all that stuff, and then they start and they jump into YouTube. I'm always interested what kind of launched that. Like where did that come from? Was that something that they're doing it because they want to share with others, or like how do you get to that point? So I'm always interested in that. So thank you very much for that. Now, guys, if you guys are in the room right now, looks like we have about 25 people in here. Please hit the like button so the YouTube will promote it out to more people, so we can have more people come in and join the conversation. So please do that. I'm going to give out shout outs in a minute. So please, if you guys are here, just say hello, give me a little happy face emoticon, or just give me something so I can at least give you a shout out and thank you for coming to the channel. All right, so back to Cakeology, back to Bob. Um, what are your okay? So I want to kind of get a little deep. Okay, as far as I have a business, I have a photography business, right? I'm a
Okay.
sole proprietor. What steps do I need to take in order to like make it an LLC, or should I make it an LLC? Like at what point do you go from a sole proprietor, you just running kind of a small little business, into getting into where you can start having lines of business credit? Like what are your recommendations when it comes to that?
Let me say this first. There is no small business. To me,
Okay.
every business has the potential of being a big business.
Okay.
And in nature, in general, when you're small, you have to sometimes show yourself as bigger than what you are. And
Mm-hmm.
for example, what was really interesting, because I love the National Geographic's channel, and I was watching about the puffer fish. And I said, man, I can really relate to that puffer fish, because it's small, but when a predator comes around, that boy puffs up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
I'm here. You're not about to eat me.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, listen, we're all little puffer fishes right now. So in order to get to that level where we can start building our business credit, we can start getting that funding that we need for our business, I always recommend two things for sure. And one is a professional accountant and a professional attorney. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have to build on the real. Okay. We have to follow the letter of the law. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But but just to make a long answer short, yes, of course, an LLC is a great way to start. Okay. LLC is a limited liability corporation. It
Mm-hmm.
is an entity that will protect your personal assets. It'll protect your person from your business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the business will be a completely separate entity. And I tell you what, I mean, we talking about make America great. America's always been great, baby. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's gold on the street. You just got to know how to pick it up.
Yeah.
Okay, literally. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you see it in the news, you see it all over the world. Why are people, risking life and limb to get to this country? It's because we have this opportunity. And for those of us that are already here, we got to seize that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And in order to know how the game is run, you have to have your piece on the board. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because because if you don't have your piece on the board, you're not even playing the game. So you've
Yeah.
already lost.
Got you.
So
Got you.
so of course, set up a business, set up a limited liability corporation, and get that EIN. Now, can anybody tell me how many digits are in an EIN number? Well, in case you didn't know, there's 9 numbers in an EIN number, the same as your social security number.
Okay.
Okay. So literally, legally, the U.S. Supreme Court in 1971 said that a corporation has the same rights as an individual, the same right of free speech, the same right of independence. So this virtual entity is actually a person in the eyes of the law, which is
Mm-hmm.
really super, super important for everybody to understand this, okay? Because
Mm-hmm.
because we're not taught these things in school. These are things that you're not taught when you go to your high school counselor, and you tell them, well, what do you want to be? I want to be a fireman. I want to be an actor. Baby, I want to be rich. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
want to make it. I want to get to the top. I want to provide for my family. There's no subject like that right now. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to learn on our own. We have to gain this knowledge on our own. And I think it's super, super important for us to understand the rules that all of these rich people are playing by, because it's
Mm-hmm.
not that difficult. And the beauty of it is that those same rules, they can't necessarily change those rules for us. We are allowed to play in the game. All that they can that all that they can rely on is the fact that we're not going to even try. But I tell
Yeah.
you what, we are going to try, and we are going to do it.
Okay. Cool, man. Cool. So, what's my first step? I'm a sole proprietor. What should be my first step?
So the first step is, now, for example, you have a photography company, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the first step is to organize that company into, for example, an LLC. That's the
Mm-hmm.
number one step, okay? Is to
Okay.
register your business in the state that you're operating in, okay?
Okay.
That's step number one, okay? Step number two is that we want to get online, we want to file an SS4 form to the IRS and we want to get our EIN number. Okay.
Okay.
That EIN number is going to be that social security number for our business.
Okay.
So at that point, you've given birth to another baby.
Okay. It'll be my first baby.
So
But,
you literally have another baby, and it's you, the mini you.
okay.
So so once you've registered that company in the state that you're doing business in, that is the birth certificate of that company.
Mm,
You've gone to the IRS, you've applied for an EIN number, and they've given you that number. That is the social security number for that company. Okay.
okay.
Super important. Okay. That's step number one. Okay. Now, when we go from there, well, let's be professional. Okay. So let's get a professional website that
Mm,
shows the world what we're doing. Now on the and that's the beauty of the web is that we can go on the website, we can make a website that looks just like Apple or IBM. They don't know we're sitting in our living room on the couch. They have no idea.
yeah.
Okay? So, that's the beauty of technology right now is that we can portray ourselves to be bigger than what we are in the beginning. If you
Mm,
guys understand what I'm saying here, okay?
yeah, I
And
got you.
that level of professionalism is super super important when it comes to lending, when it comes to banks, when it comes to uh, getting that credit in our business name. Okay,
Hmm.
so what we're going to do is we're going to once again we're going to register our company with the state. We're going to get an EIN number. We're going to get a professional website. We're going to get a professional email address that goes with that website. Okay,
Hmm.
so we're not going to use I'm sitting on my couch trying to make it at gmail.com. That's not the email we're going to use. Okay,
Yeah.
we're we're going to use support. We're going to use info at suchandsuch.com to have a professional email address. In
Okay.
addition, what we're going to do is we're going to have a professional telephone number. So when customers call, when banks call, when lenders call, that phone number that we're going to have a professional answering machine if we're not available, or we're going to have an attendant that answers in that company name professionally. So
Hmm.
that is the key. I would say that those are step one, all of those.
Okay. And now, fictitious business name, all that stuff, like registering that with the county, like, is that necessary as well, or what? How does that all? Because I don't know how that all works. I've always gone with my name, so that was my photography business. But I'm actually thinking of changing to incorporate all of this too, YouTube and just media. Period.
So what I recommend when picking a name for a company is that a lot of people, they want to pick a name, that's attached to their own personal name or that's
Hmm.
attached to the actual business that they're doing. But what I recommend is I always recommend a name that is more creative. So a name that you can't really even tell what the business is doing just by the name. And I tell
Okay.
and I tell you and I tell you why that is, okay? Um, because certain industries, certain areas of business are looked at differently in the eyes of the banks, in the eyes of the lender. Okay,
Hmm.
so we don't want to put that misconception or already put an idea in front of the underwriter's head about what we're doing or what we're not doing. Okay,
Hmm.
so whenever I've always started a company, and for example, let's take Cakeology because it is a registered company. You don't know what Cakeology is really doing until I explain it to you. You don't know if we're baking cakes or what we're doing.
Hmm.
Um, so having that creativity adds in a lot of different ways. So when picking a name, it's super important to pick one that kind of is more creative. Now you
Hmm.
can always do business as, which was create a DBA of that particular name, and call it something else that you maybe want to put on your sign or your office door. But those are things that we can get to later. But
Hmm.
a long story short is you want to pick a name that we'll get the money. Let's get to the bag first. That's what this whole thing is about. That's what
Yeah.
this whole my whole channel is about, because you know, when we're talking about real life situations, we're talking about that funding. We're talking about the financing part of it first. So that's what we are focused on.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, guys, we're going to do some shout outs. So, like I said, if you guys are in the room, just let me know you're here. Give me a little emoji, give me something so we can give you some shout outs for stopping by. It looks like the Streamlab, the bot is working. So, if you guys want to go ahead and find out how many points you have and do all that good stuff, then go ahead and do that at this time. But we're going to go ahead and do some shout outs real quick here. And then we will get back to Bob and his, we're going to talk about his credit cards next. So, that should be pretty exciting for most most of us, right? Since we all like credit cards. All right, so Braveheart, what's going on? Thank you for stopping by. Wade, what's going on? Thank you for stopping by. We have Nancy, what's going on? Good to see you. Brian, what's going on? Nice to see you. Flashpoint, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. The Joe Hill Experience, what's going on? And let's see. How to get an 800 credit score? What's going on, brother? It's good to see that you're on here, because I know you were saying you were having some problems. I think it was yesterday's live stream. You weren't able to get on, so good to see you here. Nate and Jess, what's going on? Janelle, what's going on? Nice to see you. Vic, what's going on? Rolo, how you doing? Let's see. Hip, what's going on, buddy? Got a lot of people in the room today. Thank you guys all for stopping by. Dolly, what's going on? Nice to see you. And just scrolling through. I don't want to miss anybody. So Jessica, good to see you. Mark, what's going on? Ty, good to see you. Nice. Thanks for stopping by. Families and friends, travel, good to see you. And Streamlabs, good to see you. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. I think I scrolled all the way to the bottom. I got to find myself again. Janelle, good to see you. And I think that's it. Julio, what's going on? Mark Chung, what's going on? Thank you for stopping by. D. Anderson, what's going on? Faker fans, what's up, man? And Teddy Cruz, what's going on? All right, guys. Thank you guys all for stopping by. We really appreciate it. We're talking with Bob right now from Cakeology. He has a YouTube channel. You guys need to check his channel out. He just started it, so you need to go over there, especially if you guys are interested in business capital, business credit, things like that. He puts out a lot of good videos about that topic. But now I want to talk about your credit cards, man. So, are you into the travel credit cards yet? Or do you just have regular credit cards? What's your, what's your portfolio look like when it comes to credit cards?
My reason for credit cards and getting credit cards is really all based on what I need to do in my business and how I'm going to create that cash flow or create those opportunities to grow my business. That's what I use my credit cards for. Okay. Me and you were talking before this, and I have over 50 credit cards. Okay. So,
Wow.
and those haven't been built overnight. You know, obviously, I've got a long credit history, been building credit for a long time. And you know, I have pretty much all of the major credit cards that you can imagine. Now, and that's what I love about creating a business identity. That's what I love about creating a business to get that funding. Um, is that you can have those credit cards in your business name as well. So mostly all of the cards, all of the providers that give you personal credit cards, they'll also give you business credit cards. Okay. And those business credit card lines of credit are normally twice as much as your personal lines are. So as you can imagine, that gives you a lot of leverage. That gives you a lot of room to work with, to start your business, to get your business going, and to have those emergency funds, for example, for advertising, for marketing, for supplies, for anything that you need in the form of credit cards. So it is to me, it has been the easiest way and the best way to make sure that all of my businesses are continuing to get and have that type of funding that they need to grow.
Okay, cool, cool. One thing I forgot to mention, guys, please, if you guys have questions, please put it in the comment section. I'm going to start going through to look for the questions. So put at Cakeology or at TEC, and we'll make sure we address the questions. But we definitely want to have some questions for Bob. So if you guys have questions, please put it in the chat. So um, do you have any cards that are reward cards that will give you cash back or anything like that?
Yeah, so I mean, I obviously I love the what I look for number one in a credit card is I love for that initial and I don't go normally for the points because I don't travel
Mm-hmm.
that much. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really, I don't travel a huge amount. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the farthest I'm gonna go is Walmart or to Dairy Queen, and I'm on my way back immediately.
Yeah.
So I look for the credit cards that have that 12 months, 18 months, zero interest. Okay.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
because that floats my money for 12 to 18 months with zero interest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So and for example, with business credit cards, you get a line of credit for 25, 50,000, $100,000. That's a good amount of money that they're giving you zero interest to put towards other things to make you more money. That is
Mm-hmm.
what I'm interested in. That's what credit cards have done for me. Now, as far as what's out there, I love American Express. I've got American Express Platinum cards, personal as well as business.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have about 5 or 6 of American Express Platinum cards. I've got the gold cards. I've got all of the everyday blue cash cards. I've got the city double cash. I've got the whole chase from the Sapphire Reserve to the Freedom to the Ink card. So I have the full gamut, and then I've gone to the Barclays. I've gone to the U.S. banks.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've gone to the credit unions. We've got DCU, we've got Penn Fed, we got Navy Federal, which is just, oh my God, they just, man, they're just giving it away, So,
Mm-hmm.
and these are opportunities that I want to make sure that everybody that is serious about getting financially independent, about growing their business, about growing their uh, credit limits, and having more flexibility. That's what
Mm-hmm.
we want in life is to have options. That's the key here. So credit cards give us those options when we need them. So that
Mm-hmm.
is what I use credit cards for. That's how they've helped me grow my businesses and, to become successful.
Okay. Cool. Cool. I'm just looking through to see if there are any questions, guys. If you have questions for Bob, please put it in the chat so we can ask him some questions here. So you don't travel much. Have you? What was your last trip that you went on? If you remember?
Yeah, I went to my friend's house. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, the last trip that I went on was to Montreal.
Okay.
Just to Canada a little bit. Then I went down to Florida, in Texas to visit some family. I like to keep it in the continental United States. You know what I mean?
Got it. Got it. Got it.
I'm not trying. I'm not trying to deal with all that nonsense. So,
Yeah, there's no
uh,
not. It's good, man. You need to leave the country. Go out to Colombia,
man.
man. I always promote Colombia to everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Go out to Colombia, man.
There's a few reasons why I think you probably do promote it, but uh,
This is a beautiful
but
place, man.
it
I'm
is a
telling
beautiful
you.
place. It is, but now on the real tech, on the
Hmm.
real, to be honest, I've traveled. The reason I don't go anywhere is because I've traveled so much. I've
Hmm.
been all through Asia. I've been all through Europe. I've been all through. I went to Australia. I've
Hmm.
been everywhere. I've been a lot of places, and I tell you what, when I got there, I couldn't wait to get back home. So
Wow.
so that's another reason for me personally. But it can traveling be a great thing, obviously, and credit cards are huge when it comes to traveling. Now let me say this: you don't have to travel outside of the country to take advantage of these type of credit cards.
Oh,
Okay,
absolutely, absolutely. I
you
agree
know,
with you
so
100%.
yeah, so you know, I mean, the hotel cards, I can tell you, they've been wonderful to me, especially the
Hmm.
Chase Sapphire Reserve. Having that $300 travel credit every year,
Hmm.
with the points being able to be redeemed for 1.5, and to be getting those discounts with hotels. That's what
Hmm.
I'm interested in. I love getting the discounts on the hotels because
Okay.
I'll take a staycation.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, I
my.
got you.
I mean, if a new spot opened up, I might take staycation.
And that actually brings me to the first question. So Dolly wants to know what's your favorite credit card.
It depends, Dolly, what I'm trying to do. If I want to crack somebody over the head, I might throw down the platinum. You know what I mean? Let that bounce on the floor for a little while. And I tell you what, I don't know if you guys have any, and I'm sure you do, Tech, but the Ritz Carlton card. You know that card, the
Hmm.
black card.
I don't have it,
They,
but yeah, I know
okay,
about
yeah, I've got it actually.
it.
But it is the heaviest card. It's discontinued now, but it's the
Yeah.
heaviest card by weight. It's 32 grams, and it's much heavier. It's thick metal, and it's a Chase card. It's called the Ritz Carlton card. So I love that card just because of the show factor. But on an everyday use type of thing, I mean, my go to is the Chase Sapphire Reserve.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
you
it. Wait,
know,
say that again. I just-
yeah, I love that Chase Sapphire Reserve.
yeah, he's got 50
So
plus cards, and he said,
yes,
I'm just trying to
yes.
get the room excited right now. They're going to go crazy in the chat. Okay, so Teddy Cruz has a question for you. He wants to know, can I do a sole proprietor with a business name instead of mine? Let's see. And do I need a tax ID? So I guess he doesn't want to use his name. He wants to have like a sole proprietor. Can he do that? Is
Well, I
that
mean,
is
of
that
course.
possible?
Yeah, listen, Teddy, you're born a sole proprietor. Okay, so in the
Mm-hmm.
eyes of the law, when you start doing business, you are a sole proprietor. You don't have to register. You don't have to do anything. You are your business. Okay, but uh, you cannot get an EIN number based on sole proprietorship. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so there has to be an entity attached to that. Okay, so
Okay.
that's why having an LLC, having a corporation registered in the state is so important. Now, there's nothing to it. It's $49 if you go, and I've got links on my channels, and you can go anywhere online and register your company for $49 plus your state filing fees, and you are an LLC. You
Oh,
submit
really? I didn't
those.
know it was that
Yeah,
easy.
it's that easy. It's not
Wow.
rocket science,
Yeah.
and this is what I want to explain to people. This is what I want to get across to people is that they feel that these things are so so complicated, so
Mm-hmm.
difficult to understand, and that's what they want you to think. You understand?
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
that that's how they keep you out of the game, baby. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So we're not going to be out of the game. We're playing the game and we're playing to win. This is a whole new generation. This is a whole new thing we got going on with YouTube and our family cream
Mm-hmm.
team. That's what we are. We in it to get that cream. So listen, get an LLC, get that EIN number in your business name, and then that way you created another entity outside of you. You understand
Mm-hmm.
that you still control. Okay. Now
Mm-hmm.
you'll see a lot of videos on YouTube about, well, the rich control everything but own nothing. Now, what does that mean? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is that the rich don't have anything in their own name. Their companies own everything.
Oh, I
So
see.
they
Okay.
so they personally own nothing. Okay. So if you go to sue a rich person, you can sue them all they want. You can sue me right now. I tell you what you're gonna get. Nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Because
got you.
because nothing is in my name. And
Mm.
everything is in my business name. Everything is in the corporation name. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you why that's so important nowadays, Tech, is because when you talk to people and everyday people and you ask them, well, how are you going to be rich? How are you going to be financially independent? You know what they say, Tech?
What's that?
They say the number one thing is I'm going to hit the lottery. And the number two thing is I'm gonna win something off of a lawsuit. Okay, so this is the society that we live in, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, people are trying to get rich and trying to get wealthy by suing you. You understand this?
Uh-huh.
Um, so how do we protect ourselves? We protect ourselves by creating these entities that the United States government and those in power have laid out so beautifully for us.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's an orchestra of beauty. That's what it really is. If you know how to play those instruments. So
Yeah.
and you're not going to learn how to play those instruments overnight. This requires study. This requires work. This requires patience. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and what I always recommend is to get a good accountant, get a good attorney to help you along this journey. Super, super important.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that answers some of your questions.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I think he was just focused mainly on. So you're saying, so he doesn't want to have a business in his name, but he wanted to keep it as a sole proprietor. But it sounds like you're saying go to LLC, don't even do the sole proprietor because you're already a sole proprietor.
Yeah,
Is that?
absolutely, absolutely. You're already a sole proprietor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about having it in your name or not having it in your name. That's not the
Mm-hmm.
question. Without you doing anything, you're a sole proprietor already. Without you filing a single piece of paper, you're considered a sole proprietor right now. Okay,
Okay.
and
Okay.
and even when it comes to credit cards, Tech, you can get an American Express business credit card by saying that you're a sole proprietor without having a
Mm-hmm.
business. I don't know if people
Yeah.
knew about that.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. I have Chase Ink cards, and that's what I put on there.
yeah,
Sole proprietor.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you know very well that a sole proprietor is you right now. Okay.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the liability, and that's what we're discussing here, that's the beauty of business credit, is that liability and that flexibility moving forward. So when you have an actual LLC, when you have an actual business, that gives you so much flexibility, that gives you so much um, less liability, that you can get these American Express cards, you can get these Chase Business Inc. cards, and even though you might have to co-sign for them, okay, they're not, number one, they're not going on your personal credit report. Huge, okay,
Mm-hmm.
huge. They're not showing up as uh, a debt on your personal credit report.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that debt ratio is not calculated with business cards. Okay, that's completely
Mm-hmm.
separate. They
Yeah.
don't even show up on your personal credit report.
Yeah.
So that one factor alone is huge. Okay, in
Mm-hmm.
addition to limiting that liability. So if something does, God forbid, happen in the future, that you personally are not going to lose everything that you've worked so hard for.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So, and I think Dolly has another question. She just wants to know, were you in the Navy?
I'm in the Navy right now, as I'm sitting here. I'm in the
Okay.
Navy. I'm in the Air Force. I'm in the Marines. I'm a street soldier, baby.
I think she was
But
asking because of the Navy credit, the federal, what is it, Navy Federal Credit? I can't remember the credit union. I think
yes,
that's why
so
she was
so
asking.
yeah, so Dolly, so Navy Federal Credit Union. No, I'm not in the Navy, but there's one thing that people do not know about Navy Federal Credit Union. Okay, and that is that if you know a member that has uh that is with Navy Federal Credit Union, and you reside in the same household with this member, you are also qualified to become a member. Now, a lot of people didn't know that. Okay, many people think that you had to have served in the armed forces, or that like you said, be a part of the Navy, be a part of the armed forces in some type of way, or related to somebody. But there's a little caveat. There's a little secret that people don't know about, and that is that if you live in the same household as another Navy Federal member, you're also eligible. They can
Oh, okay.
also sponsor you to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union. So
Yeah.
that, that's huge. That is super huge because
Yeah.
Navy Federal just they they got it.
Yeah, they have some really good credit cards. As a matter of fact, I mean, as
Oh
far as
my God.
rewards, I know they offer like the global entry. I've looked at a few of their credit cards, so I was pretty shocked at the benefits that they have. All right, we have a super chat in the building. Hip, thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. And he says this is excellent info. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm glad you are enjoying the show. And like I'm saying, Bob has got so much info, man. I just we're not going to be able to get it all in one live stream, so I will be asking him to come back. But yeah, he's definitely got a lot of info when it comes to business. Let's see. I think we had another question. I might have skipped by it. If I don't answer your question, just let me know just by saying you didn't answer it, and then put it again, and then I'll make sure I answer it. Sometimes the chat bumps around a little bit, so I lose my place. Let's see. For Brian, or from Brian has a question. What are you doing with all those points? That's a lot of point earning cards. So he's just asking, what like the cards that you have. You're probably using that Chase Sapphire Reserve a lot, but like some of the other cards, what are you doing with the points that you're earning?
Well, I mean, first of all, I want to thank my main man right here. My main man, how to get an 800 credit score. What's up, baby? I also want to thank Hip to Dip, baby. Hip to the dip. Hip to the dip. You know what I mean? He's serious. You know what I mean? He dipping and diving. I appreciate you, baby. So,
Yeah.
so the question was, what do I do with all those points? So what do I do with those points? I love to use those points for rental cars. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
when you're taking road trips, I don't know if you guys know or not, but those points, bam, rental car. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They apply to rental cars too now. Okay, they apply to hotels. They apply to getting airline tickets for friends and family. So everybody thinks, hey, Bob just rolling in the money, but I'm using points. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not spending my cash on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh well, you want to come see me? I might send you a ticket, but it's with points. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
So
got you.
and then also the staycations. I love those. Personally,
Uh
if
huh.
there's a new hotel that opened up maybe in your city, or you want to have a weekend with your significant other, with your wife, I think it's a great thing to do. Sometimes just get away but still be close to home. You can use points for that. So
Mm-hmm.
there's so many varieties of points, and also when it comes down to it, if you really want to just use those points and get cash back, for example, with American Express in the Charles Schwab card, you can get that particular card with American Express and get 1.25% cash back into your investment account if you have that Charles Schwab American Express Platinum card. So,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of different ways to use points, but points aren't expiring. And I tell you what, things come up where you can use those points.
Yeah.
I know that for me, I had so many points that when my lease was up, I just rented a car for a couple months to use all my points, and that saved me right there. In
Mm.
between cars. So
Yeah.
just as an example, there's a lot of creative ways to use those points in addition to all of the travel partners that American Express and Chase have. When you travel and use points at different establishments, and to be able to transfer those points to travel partners and get 2x or 3x points, that's huge too. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're not doing anything with the points right now, just hold on to them. That's what I say. And wait
Mm-hmm.
till a good deal comes up or something's going on in your life, and you're just like, hey, I need to get away.
Yeah.
And you got these points to just go. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
that's what I use them for.
All right, so I do want to give a shout out to how to get a 800 credit score. for the super chat. Thank you very much for that. And he has a channel too. So if those of you guys don't know, he does have a channel. I will post a link. I actually have the link right here. So there you go. Go over to his channel, check it out. Don't do it right this second. Maybe just open it up in a different tab right now. But he's got a lot of good information about building your credit. Okay, so in order to get travel credit cards, and I talk about building your credit a little bit, but we have channels that are dedicated. He has a channel he's dedicated to building your credit or rebuilding your credit. So you want to go over there and check out the information that he has. He does do live streams as well. I don't really know his schedule, so maybe you might want to let us know about that. But yeah, really, really good information there. So check his channel out. And thank you again for the super chat. Okay, so let's see. If we have any other questions? And Bob, if you see any questions that you want to answer, just feel free to just jump in. But let's see what else we have here. And guys, please, at this time, please hit the like button if you have not done so we can bring some more people into the conversation. This is really, really good information. Like I said, I think most of us are, I don't know, I've always been interested in like how business works and how the rich people are rich, and I think Bob has a lot of information to share as far as how to get to that point. I kind of liken it to the travel credit cards. I remember, and I've only been in this game for about 3 years, and I remember prior to getting into the whole travel reward credit card thing, I didn't think it was possible. Like, how are these people? I remember getting on a plane, and what was that trip? It was to Hawaii. I remember getting on a plane, and I walked by, and this was just regular business class kind of. It wasn't like the lie flat seats or anything. And I remember walking by, and there was this young couple, and they were sitting in business class. And I was just thinking, wow, how are they flying? And this wasn't like, this ticket probably wasn't very expensive. This was an island hopper, right? So we were going from Oahu to Kauai. And I just remember thinking to myself, wow, I wonder how they get to fly business class. Like, I'd like to fly business class one day. And like I said, it wasn't, I didn't know how much the tickets were. And come to find out, tickets aren't that expensive for an island hopper. But even still, like, I didn't know the whole thing. And then I remember sitting in the airport and thinking, why do these people get to go first? Like, why are they going in front of the line and all that stuff? And so when I started getting into the travel credit cards, then I started realizing, okay, this is how this stuff works. A lot of these people aren't using cash, they're using points. Even if they have a business, they're still using points because they have a business that earns them a lot of points because they spend a lot of money on these credit cards. And then they use the credit card points in order to travel and travel in style, right? So, that's one of those things where you see something and you think, oh, okay, they just have a lot of money. That's how they're doing this. But in some situations, and I think in most situations, they're using points to do it. And it's just, you just need to know how to do it, right? So when I got started out, I figured out how to use these points and now I'm one of those people sitting in the front of the plane, and yeah, it's I don't know, it's amazing. I'm impressed. Like, I'm like, wow, like, I'm really doing this. I'm like sitting in front of the plane, like, getting this excellent treatment and stuff, and I haven't, my bankroll hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is the fact that I have credit cards and I use them like my debit cards. That's the only thing that's changed. So it's pretty amazing. All right, let's see. Any other questions here? Okay, so I wanted to ask you too, as far as hotels, what's your hotel of choice?
Ritz-Carlton all the way.
Ritz-Carlton, okay.
Yeah.
What about your second choice? What about your everyday, I'm going to go and stay at a hotel?
Four Seasons, the
Ritz-Carlton,
Four Seasons, but everyday hotels, I love Hilton. I really like a lot of Hilton hotels. And then, of course, Marriott's great as well. So, but obviously if you can get that Ritz, that's where you want to be. But
okay.
Yeah. What
All
about
right,
you?
well, it's Hyatt for me, man.
Okay.
I'm simple. When it comes to travel, like when I'm traveling, I'm simple. Hyatt it's been good to me. I mean, I will stay at the low end Hyatts, Hyatt Place, Hyatt House, but I'll also stay at some of the nicer properties like the Grand Hyatts. I'll be staying at the Grand Hyatt in Columbia,
Okay.
in Wow, in like 35 days. I think 35, 34, something like that. We're in the countdown now. It's less
Right.
than it's a little more than a month I'll be out there. But yeah,
Oh, that's gonna be wonderful.
yeah, oh yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
gonna
see a
be.
question from how to get an 800 credit score. He wants to know, I have the Wells Fargo Business Secured Credit Card. What are the requirements for graduation, and what type of limit can I look forward to? I don't have that card, so I couldn't give any information on that. I don't know if you have the card or if you have any information to share.
Yeah. So the Wells Fargo, and he mentioned secured business credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So yeah, so with Wells Fargo, that is that. First of all, that's really good that he got the secured business card for his business. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Wells Fargo is one of the only banks that offers that secured business card for businesses. Okay,
Oh, okay.
and depending on what state your business is incorporated, there are others. There's the First National Bank of Omaha. There's TCF Bank. Those are another couple off the top of my head that will give a business a secured business credit card. Now, why is that so important? Number one, that instantly establishes your business credit profile because Wells Fargo is reporting that credit history to Dun and Bradstreet, to Equifax, and to Experian. So that
Okay.
is huge. Okay. So right off the bat, that is an incredible trade line, and that counts as a bank trade line on all those business credit reports. So
Oh, okay.
that's gonna instantly show that your business is real and that you can get more funding. Now it's not so much about graduation on that card. Okay. Now what I focus on is where do we go from here? Okay, because whatever $500, $1,000 that you put to get that secured credit card, that's good. But where do we go from here? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
where do we go to get that 10, 20, 30, 40, $100,000 lines of credit? That's what I'm talking about here. Okay, I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
and all those things are stepping stones to that goal. But let's keep our goal in mind here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's keep our eye on the prize here. We're not retiring off of just one thing here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we got to get to the top of the pyramid. That's what this whole thing is about here, baby. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now that you've got that Wells Fargo business credit card, where do we go from here? Now let's get more trade lines because now that is reporting to all three business credit bureaus, and
Mm-hmm.
that's letting other lenders and other banks know that hey, this is a real business and they are responsible with their credit, and a bank has given them a credit card. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so now let's get more trade lines. Okay, now the question about graduation. Wells Fargo has various criteria. Okay, depending on how you're paying your card, how you're using your card. Okay. What I suggest is that you call them after 6 months and let them know, hey, when is this card going to graduate? Can it graduate any earlier? How soon can it graduate? How soon can we move on to something that's more unsecured? But but more important than that is how are we going to use that trade line to get more credit, to get more funding? That's the
Mm-hmm.
key here. Okay. So that Wells Fargo credit card is opening up so many other options for us. Okay. It's going to allow us to get to get gas cards. Now, what people do is they sleep on gas cards. Okay, now, and
Mm-hmm.
with businesses, you can get gas fleet cards that can be used anywhere. Okay, they have a Mastercard logo on them. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and they're completely unsecured. All right, I have a couple of videos that I'm coming out where some clients that I'm coaching have gotten $20,000 in unsecured. I'm talking about with no personal credit check, and they've gotten these cards in only their business name that can be used anywhere. You can use it at Walmart, you can use it at Best Buy, you can use it for anything that you need in your business. Okay.
Uh-huh.
In addition to being able to get an Amazon's accounts. Okay. And we know
Mm-hmm.
Amazon has everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these things are what we are building this for. So to make a long story short, yes, the graduation is important. Call Wells Fargo and let's talk to them about it because those criteria vary. But more important than that is let's take those next steps and build this credit up even further so we can have that funding that we need to really take our business and take our lifestyle to the next level. That's what we're trying to accomplish here.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the goal of this whole thing is here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, credit cards and this and that. That's great. Okay. But let's get to the bag. That's what we want, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
how are we going to be financially secure? How are we going to have that peace of mind that if there is an emergency in the future that we do have something to rely on? Now, we're not going to ask Uncle Scooter for the money because he ain't got it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Uncle
Mm-hmm.
Scooter ain't got the money, baby. He asked me for a loan the other day. Okay, so so who do we go to? What do we do in case of an emergency? In case of anything happens, we have this backup. Okay, that's how I look at it. Okay, is that
Uh-huh.
who's got my back? And I'll tell you what, Chase got my back. American Express got my back. Jiffy Lube's got my back. A Fuel Man's got my back. All these places are places that I can go to and get thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit if I need it for my business.
Okay. All right. Cool, man. Cool. A lot of good info, man. You got a lot, man. Um, let's see. Hip has a question. So Hip is asking about your annual fees. How do you handle that? If you have a lot
And
of cards, how you handle that? How are you handling the annual fees?
well, in tech, annual fees.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of ways to mitigate the annual fees. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the annual fee for the Chase Sapphire, the 450. Then we've got the platinum cards. What is that, 550?
Mm-hmm.
So but there's a lot of benefits, and in business, you're going to use those benefits as well. And
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, when you go to see your accountant and your business attorney, there's a lot of things in there that are write-offs. Okay, and
Yeah.
for a business, that 550 that you're paying in an annual fee, that is a business write-off, ladies and gentlemen. Okay,
Yeah.
that's why having a great accountant is so important. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have to learn how to play this game. You understand this? This is
Mm-hmm.
what Cakeology is about. This is what tech is about. This is what we are about, is how we are going to play this game here. We didn't make the game. We just got to play the game. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the rules are structured so beautifully that even that you just follow the rules and you're all set. There's no issues. There's no problems. We don't need to do anything outside of the rules. We stay in the lines. We stay good, and we prosper and we grow and we smell the flowers all along the way. That's
Mm-hmm.
what this thing is about here. Okay. So that 450, that 550, it doesn't bother me because, as we all know, we get that $300 travel credit with Chase Sapphire, number one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as all the other benefits that we get with the platinum cards and other cards. Now, at the end of the day, if I don't use those benefits, every single one of those fees, I'm gonna tell my accountant, "Hey, dude, what's happening here?" And he's gonna be, "Oh, this is an expense, sir, and we'll put this in this column, sir. Well, put it in that column then, dude. You know what I
Yeah. I
mean?
got you. I got you.
you know, you know, that,
So
but
effective annual fee of 0 on those business cards. So that's
man,
that's
I,
good.
I I don't even know what the fee look like. I've never seen the fee.
Yeah. All right. Mark has a question. Mark Chung. He wants to know which business credit is the best when dealing with remodeling in real estate. So, like, I
And
guess
that's and I tell you what, who asked this question?
this is Mark Chung.
Oh, Mark Chung, what's up, baby? So, Mark, that is one of the easiest things to use business credit for, because all of these cards that you get when you first even start building business credit can all be used for home remodeling. Okay. One of the first trade lines that we get is through a company called Supply Works. Okay. And now Supply Works is a company that they've changed their name to Home Depot Pro. A lot of people don't know that. Okay. And this is, $1,500, $1,000, $2,000 that you get straight off the bat, Tech. Okay. I mean, you could open your business last week and they're going to give you $1,500 today. Okay. And just to
Wow.
start with, yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got companies like Supply Works, we've got companies like Granger, we've got companies like Uline, we've got companies like Quill, we've got companies like Red Spectrum. All of these companies will give you as a startup business credit. Now let's take a look. Now people think, oh, they come to me all the time when I'm coaching businesses, and they're like, well, I say, well, what do you need? Well, I need $100,000 in unsecured credit. Me too. I need 100,000 in unsecured
Exactly.
credit. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
so that's nothing new to me. But what people don't understand here is that all of the small accounts that we get in between that. Now, I'm not saying that we're not going to get that 100,000, because we're going to get to the bag. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to get the 100, 200, 300, half a million, million. That's all coming in the future. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to start somewhere. We've got to start taking these baby steps, baby. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Mark Chung, my baby, what you can do is you can start your credit right now. Okay, in Supply Works, you can use that at Home Depot. They're going to allow you to buy supplies. They're going to allow you to buy tools to remodel those homes. No problem. You float that for 30 days. That's a net 30 account. Okay, helps with
Mm-hmm.
that cash flow. Now we want that cash flow flowing. Okay, we've got Granger. Okay, Granger's got all kinds of tools. Okay, bam, we need tools to rehab that home. Now I did that, Tech. I was in the rehab business for a long time. I did over 50, 60 houses as far as rehabbing in Michigan. So I'm familiar with this industry. What I talk about is things that I've done. You guys got to understand, I don't have a 9 to 5. This is my 9 to 5. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I do. I'm a business coach. I coach individuals. I coach entrepreneurs on how to get their funding and how to get their business established. Okay, so let's recap on that real quick. New business. We want to start rehabbing homes. We got Supply Works. We got Granger. Both of those are going to be Supply Works. You can use that at Home Depot. Granger, we can buy tools. They've got stores all over the country. Number three, we've got Uline. All of those things are going to come in handy as far as tools, as far as material to rehab those homes. We've got Quill, once again, supplies for the company. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that it's a credit card and that this and that. It can be trade lines. It can be lines of credit that we have at stores to accomplish the same thing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that we're going to already accomplish. Okay, and I have seen a question about what is a trade line. A trade line is, for example, uh, an account that reports to your business credit bureaus. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, when we go and we apply with Lowe's or we go apply with Home Depot, what they're going to do is, after we've made a purchase, they're going to make an entry like they do on our personal credit report. Same thing. Okay. So, all of our credit cards are reporting to our personal credit. These trade lines are going to report to our business credit. So it's just a different word for having an entry, having an account that is reporting to the business credit bureaus. So that's what trade lines are, and that's the things that we can use, Mark, to start to get our rehab in order. Listen, when you're rehabbing property, and I've like I said, I've done it, okay, many times. Is that cash flow, because the time that you need between rehabbing and selling the property or getting a second mortgage on the property, all those things take time. So the name of the game is how we can keep as much money in our pocket for as long as we can until we get cashed out, if that's what we want to do. Okay,
Got
or
it.
until we get that renter in there that's going to help pay that note. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so every single one of these items, every single one of these trade lines, every single one of these accounts is going to help us accomplish that goal, baby. So that's why business credit is so important. Now, let me say another thing when it comes to having that entity. Now, every single home that I ever bought, I put in a separate LLC. Okay, every single home. All right. Now, you ask, well, why? Why wouldn't you just leave it in your personal name? Why wouldn't you just leave it in one company name? Because I tell you what, I don't want anything that happens to that one piece of property to affect my other properties and to affect my portfolio. Okay,
Mm,
I'm not gonna
okay.
let the one thing bring me all the way, bring me down, because it can. Trust me, believe me. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that if something goes wrong in that one home, if there's a, God forbid, there's a fire or there's a leak or there's some kind of a disaster that happens with that home is its own company. You understand what I'm saying to you here?
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
And whatever anybody is liable for is only within that company. So whatever we put into that particular home, it's not going to affect our other accounts. It's not going to affect our other properties. It's not going to affect our life, our home, our personal home. Our wives' assets. Because I tell you what, they can go after all of that. Okay,
Uh-huh.
if you think you're a sole proprietor and you're investing in properties, you've got assets, and something goes wrong where you're all of a sudden you're in litigation. Not only are your assets and your earnings in question, your wife is too. Okay, you guys
Okay.
are together. Okay, your
And
home,
that I want to transition. I want to
yes.
transition to this question before I forget it. So Nate and Jess did have a question about that. So they're a married couple. Jess and I are in reality partners in business. They have real estate business. So what are your thoughts on partnership LLCs?
No,
No.
no. No, why would you why put anybody else into it that doesn't need to be into it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um why not just have an LLC? Hold on, no, before I misspeak here. Now we're talking about, first of all, there's a few different entities. Okay, there's in a limited liability corporation, in an LLC, there are what we call members. Okay, that
Mm-hmm.
is what everybody is called when you speak of an LLC. Okay, so you don't have your traditional, your president, your treasurer, your this, your that. Okay, now, if this couple is getting into an LLC and they are both members in the LLC, then that's fine. Okay, if that's what
Mm-hmm.
they're referring to. Okay, so in that way, that quote unquote, see, but you can't use partnership. Okay, because partnership opens up all kinds of other liabilities and all kinds. It's in a different category. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now, when we're talking about a multi-member LLC, that is different. Okay. That still only limits the liabilities of that company to what was invested into what that company owns. They cannot get to your personal assets. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
but let's take it one step further. Now, what I always recommend is, listen, keep it a single member LLC, and you can always add members onto it. But why
Mm-hmm.
can't you? But why can't you have your own LLC and your wife have another LLC? You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got two babies then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
you just cloned yourself twice. Okay, so that's what I am more interested in, is that how can we have that flexibility? How can we have that diversity? That is the key here. I hope that answers that question a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what they were going for. Julio also has a question for you. He says, "Will Amex let me update my business cards from sole proprietor to LLC if I make the change from LLC or from to LLC from sole proprietor?" But I would think, I guess, if you're a sole proprietor and you create a baby, like you would say, LLC, then you're able to get that same credit card with the LLC, right?
So yeah, Julio, what's up, baby? Como está, my friend, baby? So what I want to say about that is that, well, American Express, they might want you to open a different account that has that LLC and that EIN number attached to it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I would suggest calling American Express and letting them know, hey, listen, I've got a platinum business card. I opened it up as a sole proprietorship, but since then I have actually incorporated and organized my business into an LLC. What is the procedure? Do I need to open up a whole nother card, or can I switch this card over? But now let me tell you this, Julio. Okay, there's no limit to the amount of charge cards that you can have. American Express does not limit charge cards. Okay, people don't know that. All right, a lot of people don't know that. They limit the amount of credit cards that you can have. Okay, with American Express, the limit of credit cards is 5 credit cards. Okay, per person, but there's no limit to the amount of charge cards you can have. Okay, for every single one of my businesses, I have a platinum American Express card. Okay. I am the co-signer on that card, but that card is in my business name. Okay. That card has my EIN number attached to it. Okay. And it has the name of my business right on the card. Okay. So this is super, super important. And it's something to really, really consider when we're talking about charge cards and how American Express works with business cards.
Okay, good, good. Thank you very much for that. Okay, let's see how to get an 800 credit score. He did say his live stream, so if you guys want to catch him on a live stream, it's Wednesday, 8:15 Central Time. Oh, lost my little earpiece here. So if you want to check him out, that's where you can check him out on his channel. And I really recommend doing it because he's got some good information out there. I've watched a few of his live streams, and they're pretty good. So let's see. Yes, let's see. Okay, so Janelle's asking me how that Popeye's chicken sandwich was. It tastes just like Chick-fil-A to me. It wasn't worth waiting in line for, I'll tell you that. So yeah, that's just my opinion. I'm not like a big old foodie or anything like that, but I just thought it'd be interesting to taste since everybody's going crazy about this sandwich. All right, guys. Any other questions? Please put it in the chat.
911.
And
911
please,
charger.
let's see. Am I on the? I'm getting some feedback or something. Or was that you there, Bob?
No. That wasn't me.
I was getting some. I'm getting feedback from somebody from somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from. All right. Okay. Guys, please hit the like button if you guys are in the room. We got about 37 people in here and 27 likes. So if you could please hit that like button, we want to try to get up to at least 50 likes for the show. So I really appreciate you guys doing that. And if you're new here, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. By the way, we're going to be doing a giveaway. That's going to be on Saturday. So Saturday, it's not going to be at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but it'll be in that time period. We'll be doing a giveaway. The way that you can get into the giveaway is by earning points. And I'm sure you've been seeing in the chat, people are typing exclamation point points. And the reason that they're doing that is they're checking their points. And so depending on, and I haven't decided exactly how much the raffle tickets are going to cost. It's not like, it's TEC points, so it's not actual money. But you get points by either subscribing. So if you subscribe to the channel, you're going to get 50 points. And then if you're watching for every 10 minutes, you get 10 points. And so we do this. We're going to reset it every month. And then at the last Saturday of the month, that's when we'll do the giveaway. This month, we're doing a $50 gift card to, so far it's going to be Amazon. That's what it's looking like. I put out a poll, and I'll put out a poll every month just to see where everyone is when it comes to gift cards. But I put out a poll, and most people want the Amazon gift card. So you can check out the poll on my community page. So if you just go to my channel page, there's a little tab that says community. Click on that and then just scroll down a little bit and you'll see the poll there. So if you want to join in on the poll. I'm not going to purchase a gift card until Saturday afternoon sometime. Probably around noon is when I'll purchase the gift card. So make sure you get your vote in. There's a Hyatt card that I put on there, Southwest, United, all gift cards. They'll all be e-gift cards. That's what I'm going to be looking at giving. So you guys can get it. You guys will get it instantly. All right, guys. So please subscribe if you're new, and then also hit that like button if you're here and you have not done so. Okay, we have any other questions? Let's see. So why don't you, Bob, let us know about, we all know about your channel. Do you have any other social media that you want to promote at this time?
So, not really. The
Okay.
channel is my focus on YouTube, but you can always reach out to me on Instagram, which is at Cakeology with an I at the end. and you can always ask me any questions. I'm available to everybody. I really want this to be a community. I really want this to be a team and a family that we all get together and really help each other through this.
Mm-hmm.
That's really my goal for starting the YouTube channel. Um, I do also provide coaching to individuals, to businesses. So if you are interested in that, you can always reach out to me on that. So there's a lot of different ways to reach me, and I'm here to help. That is really what this whole thing is about. That's why I've taken on the taken on all my insecurities and put all my uh, put everything behind me to
Mm-hmm.
get going on YouTube. So that's what this whole thing is about, and it's for you guys. Is what I mean to say here is
Yeah.
that it's all for you guys. It's all for the community. It's my way, because I see everything that's going on out here in the world, and I see how players are playing, and I see how we get left, and I don't want us to get left anymore. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
there's too much out there. There's too many opportunities out there. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Detroit, so I know a lot of people that came home that have things on their record, that have felonies. How do you take care of yourself? How do you take care of your family by working at a fast food joint? When
Mm-hmm.
when you when you used to riding in $200,000 cars, and then now you came home, and this is the situation.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna go back to that lifestyle and just be like, well, forget it. I might, there's nothing else for me. No, there is something else for you, and there's something else for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what your situation is. I don't remember the past. We all have a past. I don't remember it. I don't remember it for me. I don't remember it for you. I don't remember it for anybody. Let's put
Mm-hmm.
that past behind us. Let's start fresh. Let's start playing by the rules, and let's be successful in the right way. That's what this whole thing is about,
Mm-hmm.
Ted.
All right, man. I'm sold, man. I'm sold. Yeah, man. You got some really good information there. So I wanted to bring him on. I mean, Bob he's got a lot of good information, but I want you guys to go over to his channel. I will have a link to his channel in the description. I will also, I guess I said this at the beginning, but I'll have some tags to different parts of this video so you can kind of skip to the different parts, because there's a lot of good information in there. So I want to make sure that if you want to come back to the video later and you say, oh yeah, he was talking about this, getting an LLC, how do I do that? And we'll have links to all that in the description. So yeah, man, I really appreciate you coming on, Bob, and I'm glad you reached out. I mean, he reached out to me, was it last week or week before last? And I'm like, yeah, definitely. Watched a few of his videos, and he's got some real good information. I'm like, this is perfect for my audience. So I wanted to bring him in and have him talk with us. And I would love to have him come back. I'd love to have you come back, Bob. So in the
Yeah, I would love,
future,
I would love to, Tech, and anytime, I'm available, and I just appreciate all the viewers, everybody that took the time out in their day to day to join us and to support us. From the bottom of my heart, peace and love, baby. I'm out here for you, out here, baby. 24
all
hours,
right.
every week.
Yeah, all right, all right. So just make sure you go to his channel. He just started his channel, so he really needs the subscribers at this point. It's hard when you start really getting that snowball rolling. And so if you can go over to his channel, subscribe, hit that little bell notification too. That way, anytime he puts out a video, you guys are going to get notified. And then just help him along the way. The more subscribers he gets, the bigger audience he'll grow, and the more people that he can help. So we really want to do that for him. So please do that. So if you're watching right now, we're getting ready to end the show. So you can go right over there, watch some of his videos, make sure you subscribe, and we'll go from there. Does anybody have any last minute questions? And I apologize if I did miss your question. Sometimes I lose my place in the chat, and so I might have skipped a few. Let's see. And Janelle saying Cakeology is awesome, 100%.
Appreciate you, Janelle.
100. And all right, so great show. How to get a credit score, or how to get an 800 credit score. Says it's a great show. And P. Gill. So you got a lot of good comments here. So where's the cake? Janelle's asking. She wants to know where the cake is.
At Kroger, Janelle, at Kroger, they got that.
Kroger.
Yeah, they got that. They got the cake that not the butter topping, but that whipped topping, Janelle. Woo, that's fire.
Whip time.
That's fire.
That's fire. Nine Trail says the stream is fire too. All right, guys. So thank you guys very much for stopping by, and we'll be back on Saturday. Like I said, giveaway on Saturday. This is the first giveaway that we're going to be doing, so it should be really interesting and a lot of fun. And every month we're going to do one. So everything resets. All the points and everything will reset on Sunday. Sunday is the first, I believe. Yes, Sunday. So everything resets on Sunday, and then we'll get started for September. We'll do the same thing in September, and then we'll just keep rolling from here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. And like I said, thank you guys very much for stopping by. And I'm going to chat with Bob a little bit offline right now and pick his brain about some more information so I can get my business right. All right, guys. Let's see. We got nobody will take me down. That's David there. We got a couple of things coming in here. Let's just see. Okay, everybody's saying good night. So thank you guys very much for stopping by, and I'll be back on Saturday, and I will have Bob back on real soon. So thank you guys very much. Talk to you later. Bye.
Peace.